Okay, so just coming at you from mydealsforrealestate.com. For those that wanted to start getting additional information, whether you are currently in the market, in particular in the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia area, there's a couple things that are going on that are trending in real estate. And the biggest topic that I wanted to tackle in today's video is why contracts in the DMV are so difficult to have accepted. Okay, so there's a lot of people in the market that want to buy. However, people are running into this thing where their contracts are not being accepted. So there's a bunch of things going on, and I wanted to just tackle a couple of them. Couple things. The market doesn't have enough inventory. That's the first thing. People are not quick to sell their homes right now. They know how valuable they are. This area boasts a lot of government people, government contracts, and in some cases, these people, even though it's 2020 and there's been a lot of struggle with the pandemic, jobs, and things like that, people in this area have maintained their real estate. A lot of them are not selling. Now, what's going to happen in 2021? We don't know. There may be people in families where everybody's not working, for the federal government or the government agency and has been able to hold on to their income. Maybe one spouse has had their money continue to come in and the other has had a job loss. So in that case, I can see, now I can't predict, but I can see where we may have some additional listings. It's as simple as that. I know that some people have definitely been able to take advantage of the help that they're getting from their mortgage company in the pandemic, where payments are being put onto the end of the loan as a way to keep people in their home who have previously had great payment history. So again, they're just not in a big hurry to sell their homes, and so people are just kind of living in their homes. That's part of the problem. The inventory is very low. Let's talk about pre-qualification versus pre-approval. Okay, go ahead, and if you're in this market and you're very serious, go ahead and get a pre-approval. A pre-approval is where you've already talked to your mortgage loan officer and they have asked you to start submitting some documentation so they can verify income and start verifying assets. They're not going to do a full file. Okay, so the full file is when your contract has been fully accepted, and then they will go through and involve processors and things of that nature and start processing that file. But a pre-qualification letter, that's not going to work. You're going to need a pre-approval. Okay, so it's a few more steps for the loan officer to do, and definitely ask for that because that's making a difference in the contracts that are being submitted. Don't submit it with a pre-qualification. Those days are over. You must have a pre-approval letter. All right, financing. Okay, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. When you're submitting a contract, big banks, and I hate to say it, sorry, big banks, but it's not favorable for me to accept a contract from a big bank. Okay, the ones with all the commercials, those are the big banks. They're national. As far as the mortgage department, and some would say, oh, they've made improvements. Okay, what I know about it, since I've worked in mortgage for many years before becoming a real estate agent, they're very slow, and they take a lot more time than they promise to close. And so if you are in the business or have been in this business, worked in mortgage, and now you're a real estate agent, you already know this. So I'm not inclined to have my client think that that's a favorable contract if there is a big bank listed as the financer, because I know it's going to take longer. And if they've got 60 days to close, fine. Okay. Big banks will probably close in 35 to 45 days. Smaller mortgage companies, again, they don't get the volume. Okay. As a result, not as many hands have to touch that file to get it closed versus the big banks. They just have a bunch of departments and everybody does something, and it just takes longer, and they have a high volume because they have all of their customer base that probably will try to get a loan through them. Okay. That's it. It's a good problem to have. But when it comes down to the deal, that's not favorable. Okay, not favorable to my client. I'm going to tell them why. At the end of the day, my client makes the decision on which contract they want to accept. Contingencies. Too many contingencies on contracts. I want the house, but I want to have it inspected. I want to have this. I want to make sure of this. No, thank you. In the seller's market in 2020 in the DMV, we're picking the most money with the fewer contingencies. and we want to close as soon as possible. Those are the three things that we look for. So when you want to have the home inspected and all that, I personally don't submit contracts for my buyers with inspection contingencies now. Why? Because it's more than likely not going to be accepted. The seller is not interested in you coming in and having to do an inspection. At the end of the day, just go ahead and get some homeowners insurance, and that will ensure the integrity of the appliances and various things around the house. That way, if something does happen, you have an insurance policy. Those can be about $500, $450, $500. It's worth you spending $400 to $500 so you can get in a house, okay, versus continually having your contracts not get accepted. Again, being able to close quickly, I already talked about that. So that was just one of my bullet points. So again, if you're trying to buy a home in the DMV, I hope that was helpful. You can reach out to me through My Deals for Real Estate. That's My Deals, the number 4, realestate.com. That's our website that gives you additional information on ways to save money and things like that throughout the transaction, get additional credits and things of that nature. Or you can reach out to me at mydealsforrealestate@gmail.com. That's My Deals, the number 4, realestate@gmail.com. And I'll be back to post additional videos for things that will hopefully help you while you're trying to buy your home.